into our Week 9 NFL recap. Toddy, I am going to throw you two games because I have to go help the missus. So, first game, the Baltimore Ravens in Lamar Jackson's return beat the Dolphins down to a pulp. Had to fire their GM. They did a all-you-can-get sale today in the NFL trade deadline. They beat the Dolphins 28-6, and then can you talk about the Jaguars beating the Raiders 30-29?
All right, so as far as the Ravens game goes, I kind of talked about in the previous segment. Lamar's back. Went to 104 yards, had 4 total touchdowns, 18-23, 92 QBR. Just we all know what a healthy Lamar looks like. When he's able to come out, and he's probably, you could argue he should have won MVP. If you look at the numbers, him and Josh Allen, Lamar's numbers were better. I do think when Lamar is in the lineup, obviously everybody is around him. So that means the run game is better. So Derrick Henry is going to look better. Zay Flowers is going to look better. Kind of insane that Lamar threw 4 touchdown passes and not one of them went to Zay Flowers. Shout out to my guy Kyle. But I just think when Lamar is playing, it's just you got to keep your eye on him. And he has to be accounted for in the run game. Obviously, in the pass game, a lot of people wanted to criticize Lamar about his accuracy. He's literally one of the most accurate quarterbacks in NFL history. As far as the Dolphins go, I know we'll talk about the trade deadline a little bit later on, but I do think the Dolphins got to start cleaning house. Now, there were a lot of trade rumors about Jalen Waddle. He obviously stayed put today, but they got rid of guys like Jalen Phillips, who Kevin's probably rejoiced about, him going to Philly. You even saw rumors about Tua Tagovailoa, who is making, I think, north of $52 million a year. Him being cut by the end of the season. Obviously McDaniels has been it's kind of inevitable for him to probably end up getting fired. That Dolphins franchise, and there were people early on in the season saying this Dolphins team is going to be bad. And I was like, well, what do you mean? They still got Jalen Waddle, they still got Tyreek Hill before the injury, obviously. They got Devon Achane, they got Tua Tagovailoa. Their offense should be fine. Like, what is it? You just heard little murmurs coming out of training camp, like this, that, and the third. And they even had Darren Waller, who is now on IR, and my tight end on fantasy. But I mean, it didn't make sense to me. I thought they would still be a competitive team for their division, and it just all kind of went to shit. Kevin already mentioned they fired their GM. Like, he's like, what the hell did I do? what did I thought we were just in the playoffs a couple years ago. So, no, not good for the Dolphins. I expect for them to kind of just flip the script and maybe start over, get a guy in the draft. They're not looking good at all. As far as the Jags-Raiders game, Brock Bowers made his return. Brock Bowers is the best tight end in football. So I'm just gonna,
without a doubt.
This is coming from a guy who was a 49er fan, George Kittle, seen everything that he's done. This kid, Brock Bowers, is different. Like, he almost won the game by himself. He came back, I think it was, like a 4 or 5 week hiatus? 4 week hiatus?
4 weeks plus the bye, so 5.
So, I mean, just, you come back and just fresh off IR, 3 touchdowns? Like,
120 yards?
What are we talking about? There's nothing really to say. I mean, if you just don't have eyes and you don't know, you don't watch football, you can't say that Brock Bowers isn't the best tight end in the NFL. I do think the Raiders, as an organization, is just, we have to just take a second on. It don't matter who is over there. That organization just needs, they got to rip the guts out. They got to just, there's just something there that is just, it doesn't matter who's coaching, what tight end you got, what running back you got. They got to rip the guts out and just get it. They got to get it all together. Now, I like Genty as a talent. there were times that just that O line is so bad. Yeah, it don't matter who you put back there. It don't matter who you put back there. Nobody is going to be able to make anything happen from that offensive line. Geno Smith is just Geno's it. I get it, but I mean, he's not really the problem or the solution. He's damn sure not the solution. I'll tell you that. That defense, they couldn't stop my 1.5-year-old son from moving the ball. I promise you, they won. Trevor Lawrence might have been John Elway out there. The way that he was moving the ball up. The reason why I'm just going so in depth about this game is because I was financially tied to this game. And I had the Raiders. Of course I have the Raiders. Come on, man. You know me. I'm like, the Raiders, why not? They're dogs at home. It's the Jags. Let's make something happen. Trevor Lawrence and Parker Washington might have been Joe Montana and Jerry Rice out there.
Nope. Let's save that for the Bengals because that was definitely Joe Flacco and T. Higgins.
That was just that showing, and then for it to go into overtime, and then the Jags get the ball, they score. A lot of people don't know the overtime rules ended up changing this year, so both teams get a chance to score a touchdown unless there is a safety. If you guys don't know, somebody scores a safety first, that scoring team wins. But other than that, both teams get a chance to score a touchdown. Jags went down, scored. Raiders got the ball, scored. Obviously, the game is tied, so there's like a minute and some change left. And so any winning team would, hey, let's go for two, right? Why not? I saw Geno as soon as Brock Bowers scored his third touchdown to go for two. And I said, my ticket is in the hands of Geno Smith. Just say that out loud for a second.
And God, that's scary.
How scary that. I know Halloween just passed. That was probably the scariest thing I said all weekend. My ticket is in Geno Smith's hands. And what happened, guys? Oh, I don't know. The ball gets freaking batted down. And I lose. Obviously. Why not? It's the Raiders. And then my cousin Fernie, who was in our fantasy league, he was like, it is your fault for even thinking the Raiders had a chance.
Yeah, man.
I said, you know what? You got me.
You got me.
So that was it was a very entertaining game. It was probably one of the most entertaining games of the weekend, but a lot of people didn't watch it probably because it was the Raiders. And
missed out on career NFL record 67-yard field goal. Fucking nuts. But moving on, the New England Patriots escape the Atlanta Falcons 24-23. This game, Drake London really came out and showed the world why he's arguably one of the best shooters in the world.
He's probably what Mike Evans was. I will say that. I think he's like the new Mike Evans.
Yeah, it's not crazy to say they're both big possession receivers. Toddy's a USC guy, so take that with a grain of salt. Bijan Robinson had an off night. 12 carries for 46 yards. He had 8 catches for 50 yards. So this game, this Patriots defense was really stopping them. And then it got to a point. It got ugly really quick. And then it got to a point where Drake London said, I'm open. 7-11. Throw me the ball. He had some amazing catches. I saw something on Twitter, Toddy, and I wanted to ask you. They said, what's more impressive, a 3-touchdown game from a receiver or the 5 sacks from Myles Garrett in the game?
Myles Garrett is getting triple teamed and quadruple.
That's what I was going to say. It's easy to do against one guy. But, I mean, Christian Gonzalez ain't no joke. You look like a Joe guard, Drake London, on Sunday.
They're both unreal performances. To me, I know we talk about Brock Bowers, we're talking about Drake London. Both of these guys missed multiple weeks. It wasn't like they played last week, had a bad game. No, these guys weren't playing for a month, and they just came back and I'm Superman. So both performances. I mean, as far as Myles Garrett, 5 and they both ended in losses. That's the insane part. Can you imagine having 5 sacks and losing, or having 3 touchdowns in a game and losing? That is what? Insane. How did we lose?
But yeah, Drake May, man, continuing to get it done with guys named Pop Douglas, Stephon Diggs, Travion Henderson, and Hunter Henry. He's getting it done with everybody. Ramondre Stevenson went down. So Shaun's guy and I finally got to see some OHIO running around. Travion Henderson only took him 9 weeks, but he finally started getting involved in that offense.
Terrell
But
Jennings,
Terrell Jennings,
like
out,
the
man, you beat me
seventh
to
round
it.
pick. I think the
Terrell
Bengals.
Jennings will find a way. Someone will find a way to ruin Travion Henderson's day, whether it's Ramondre Stevenson or Terrell Jennings. Someone is going to find a way for them to fuck this up. And I'm sitting here asking myself, why did you draft him? I get it. You pay Ramondre Stevenson, he goes down. We should see him be a bell cow. Every time we run the ball, 32's running it. But that was not the case, unfortunately. And since Toddy did 2 games, I'm going to go ahead and throw 2 games in there. The Chargers beat the Titans 27-20. Week after week, Toddy, your boy Cam Ward starting to figure things out. I get it with a grain of salt. 2 of these touchdowns were a pick 6 and a punt return. But this offense it's a slow burner, man. It's Cam Ward with nothing around him. We give Drake May so much credit for doing something with nothing. And this guy literally has nothing. I remember guys drafting Calvin Ridley high because they said, it's Cam Ward. Calvin Ridley got to do it. And then you hear guys like Chirmai Dyke and Eric and Anamore. Like, we're hearing all these other guys, but not Calvin Ridley. For the audio-only listeners, Toddy is going through it right now because he is one of those guys that said Calvin Ridley is still here. You guys are sleeping. And at the time, looked like a genius. 3 weeks in, kicking himself in the ass. But
he is also hurt too with a hamstring injury.
Yeah, but Justin Herbert, man, is getting it done. And we talked about Brock Bowers, but Donde Gadsden is making a name for himself. This receiving core has guys like Keenan Allen, Larry McConkey, the new and improved Quentin Johnson, and the tight end rookie is leading them in yards. This offense has a lot going for them, but they have games and they have lapses where it's just like, what the fuck? 3 weeks ago, we were like, oh, shit, the Chargers have turned it around. Now it's week 9, and we're like, you beat the Titans by 7. So it's crazy how fast the tables turn. And Toddy says, life comes at you quick. We're finally hoping for Justin Herbert to turn that notch, to turn that switch. In a year where the Chiefs aren't that good, on a year where you beat the Chiefs week 1, beat the shit out of them. This is Justin Herbert's always elevated to a top 5 quarterback because his name was Justin Herbert. If his name was Justin Dent or Justin Toddy, nobody. Because his name carries so much weight,
we're nobodies, guys.
he's elevated to this category of quarterback. And in my opinion, he was elevated too early because on the other side of the coin, we're calling Trevor Lawrence a bust. He beat him in the playoffs. They were getting blown out and beat him in the playoffs. Justin Herbert has a game in the playoffs where he's thrown 4 picks. So you guys know, if you guys have been day one listeners, I am not the guy to talk to about regular season success because Toddy talked about him in the first game of the recap. Lamar Jackson turns into Sam Darnold in the playoffs. I just don't get it. I don't get it. James Harden, for the basketball guys on this podcast, like, you go so hard. NBA 82 games, NFL 17 games. Then the lights get bright. You start sweating between your thighs. And once it's up, it's up. So, Toddy, the Chicago Bears beat the Cincinnati Bengals in a fucking thriller.
Come on, man.
47-42. And before you speak, Wesley, I know you're listening. I hate you. You beat Joe Flacco and T. Higgins. If you played against that pairing, cooked. 73 points between the two of them. I thought it was over when he threw the pick 6 and he just walked them down and scored another touchdown. So, Toddy, the Bears figure it out. Your boy Caleb Williams. Are they going to win the division? Let's hear your thoughts. 5-3.
Top 15 quarterback. Come on,
man. Oh, hell no.
You
said that 3 years ago, brother.
It was like, was it 3? It might have been 2. But Caleb was unreal in this game. 280, 3 touchdowns, caught a touchdown, and he rushed for 53 yards. So they kind of had Caleb doing a little bit of everything. Kyle Monungai was an absolute monster.
Played against him in fantasy too,
bro. 26 for 176. He didn't score a touchdown, which was kind of weird, but he was all over the place in this game. Colston Loveland, where have you been all my life? Drafted you in my other league. Got literally nothing from him. I do think he was hurt in the process of some of those games, but literally they just would not throw him the ball. I do think Cole Kmet going out kind of had him forced into the role that Cole Kmet usually is in. And so it's like, we're going to get you in. And, oh, yeah, he's actually really good. And, oh, yeah, he's
Well, Cole Kmet went down in the first
yeah.
quarter.
Yeah,
That's why
yeah,
he's
yeah.
out.
So I was saying Colston Loveland was getting all the targets that usually Cole Kmet would get. So obviously, there's no defense being played in this game. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins were showing you why they signed those contracts back to back, and they announced them at the same time. Like, hey, we're coming back. We're going to run it back. To put up 42 points at home and lose is like, if you were to tell me, let's see here. If you were to tell me that Joe Flacco threw for 470 yards and 4 touchdowns, and you score 42 points, Bengals fans would take that in a heartbeat. Like, without question, if you just would have said 470, don't even tell me what happens. I'm taking that. We're winning the game. Absolutely not. The Bears, first of all, the Bears got a pick 6 from from Edmonds, and he returned all the way for a touchdown, and they reviewed it, and they said he was down by contact, and I was like, oh, well, the game's over, so that means there's not really else to talk about. Turn the game off. Boom. And then I started getting notifications. Oh my God, the Bengals, T. Higgins. Well, I have my other league. Thank you. Shout out to T. Higgins. Put up 26 points for me. The Bengals, oh my God, it's over. I'm like, wait, what? Wait, I was like, how is this even possible? What happened? Then I saw that they overturned that call. They end up getting the ball back. They score. And I'm just like, what is going on? And so the Bears get the ball back. Caleb has the drive, a legacy drive, drives down the field. Colston Loveland breaks the 2 tackles and then ends up scoring the game-winning touchdown. Absolute unreal game. You saw Jamar Chase in the locker, or I wouldn't say locker room. He was like on his way to the locker room. He was like, one fucking stop. That's all I asked for. I mean, what's the running back's name?
Chase Brown. I was going to say that.
He was fucking pissed.
Put it in the end zone. He's supposed to win the game,
bro. Like, what are you like? They're not wrong, but I'm just saying, like, you go back to when, like the off season, the whole Trey Hendrickson, the whole Shamar Stewart, all that, who has been literally invisible. Haven't heard anything from him since his whole contract dispute. Trey Hendrickson's obviously injured, but just the defense in general is something we all know what Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, all those guys can be as an offense. And kind of looking at it from the explosivity standpoint, from Joe Burrow being out to Joe Flacco being in there. And I'm not saying that Joe Flacco is Joe Burrow. That's neither here nor there. I'm just saying, as far as the offense, it's been clicking ever since they picked up a veteran guy in Joe Flacco. And it's just like, oh, I can just throw it to T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. All right, cool. Let's make this happen. Defense, they unfortunately do not play defense. So that game was insane, but I'm glad my guy, Caleb Williams, got it done. And hey, Bears are 5-3. Said the Bears are going to win the division. The division is divisioning.
It's working out for him.
So, hey man, I'm just saying, a lot of things came up in the preseason we're talking about, and I think that I said it's starting to come to light a little bit, just a little bit. 3 years ago, 2 years ago, however long that was, Kev, when we started talking about how, this kid Caleb Williams is talented. Might be a top 15 quarterback day one. Maybe it wasn't day one. Maybe just need the right coach.
Or day 2.
So,
day 600 or something. But you know what? Hey, maybe this is the coaching. Moving on. The Pittsburgh Steelers beat the red-hot Indianapolis Colts 27-20. And there's a lot of Giants fans pointing the finger saying, I told you so. I told you he was going to turn into a frog. I told you. And we had him in conversations of MVP and Daniel Jones, 3 picks, 1 strip sack. I knew as soon as that first strip sack happened, they were up 7-0, driving down the field. They were about to score again, put this game away. And Daniel Jones became Daniel Jones. He still threw for 342 yards. And at the end of this game, they still only lost by 7 points. So it's like,
It made a little surge, made a little push at the end.
if you only give us two interceptions and a strip sack, we win that game. So for the Indianapolis Colts, they're still playing red hot football. Still a lot of great things to say. But Cass said it. The Steelers aren't no pushover. I know Gary's sitting here screaming at the wall, Steelers. So you know what? Aaron Rodgers might not be washed. The Jets might just might be a shit franchise. And we got to see a year of his career taken with the Achilles. Excuse me. But this Steelers team finds ways to win games, and it's amazing. Mike Tomlin leads this team, and they win games. There's a lot of games that they've lost that were close, But for them to come in here at home and beat the number one seed, if the NFL ended today, they'd be the number one team in that division. And for you to beat that team gives that locker room a lot of excitement. Jalen Ramsey's making plays. DK Metcalf making plays. Darnell Washington, Calvin Austin, Jalen Warren. Like, they're finding ways to get in that end zone, and it all starts with this defense. When you think about the black and yellow, you think defense, and Cameron Hayward, Jalen Ramsey, TJ Watt, they find ways to make plays. And it's amazing to see. Mike Tomlin, you're the man. Toddy said they're going to win 10 games. They're halfway there, Toddy. So, you said the reigning MVP was the best quarterback in the NFL. You said Caleb Williams was top 15. You said the Steelers will win 10 games.
I might be up to something.
You might be up to something. So, Toddy, let's talk about your boys going to MetLife and suffering an injury, man. MetLife takes another one. Mykel Williams, first-round draft pick, gone to an ACL. MetLife has yet to take another life. So let's talk about Mykel Williams, and let's talk about you guys winning 34-24.
Yeah, Mac Jones went 14 for 14 in the first half, so he was cooking. I think this Giants defensive front doesn't really get a lot of praise that it should. I think they have one of the better defensive fronts in football. Christian McCaffrey is an absolute monster. I think what has the dark cloud over our team is all of the injuries, and the one guy who gets injured all the time is still healthy and is getting like a shit ton of touches every game, and he's scoring touchdowns and is not really being talked about. We still got guys out on offense. Obviously, we're missing Brandon Ayuk, the $30 million man. Ricky Pearsall, who was a top 5 guy through the first 3-4 weeks, the first month, and then he just fell off a cliff because he's been hurt. Obviously, Brock Purdy, the $260 million man.
A lot of money on the sidelines.
A lot of bread on the sidelines.
We're in headsets.
And then for Mykel to go down, and I was saying when Nick Bosa went out that he was going to be the anchor. He was going to be that pass rush. He was going to be that guy for us. For him to go down, it just, Nick Bosa tore his ACL in the same field. I think it was 3 years ago. Same field, same injury. It's just that turf in general is just, it's a hazard. For the amount of time, the amount of people that have gotten injured on that field, it's just
insane.
And I don't think it's a coincidence. And I also don't think it's a coincidence that Brock Purdy and Ricky Pearsall were kind of making their way back a little bit, but then they were like, hey, we're playing on MetLife turf.
We're good. Well, what's one more week?
So it was good to get the win. I expected a win. I do think, I think we have the Rams coming up this week. I would expect to get guys like Purdy and Pearsall back by then, but we beat the Rams with less, and it was on the road. But we will see going forward. But the Niners are 6-3. We got top guys that are making one of the highest paid at their position are out, and the Niners are 6-3. Kyle Shanahan is the coach of the year. I don't know. I don't know what else you want me to do. You got guys like Kevin's audio only listeners. Kevin smirking at people like Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan Coach of the Year. What do you mean by that? The Eagles are 6-2. But I'm just saying, despite all of the injuries that we're going through, and we're 6-3 somehow. And the teams that are ahead of us in our division, the Rams and the Seahawks, guess will be both of those teams on the road.
By the skin of your chinny chin chin.
Could be by the skin of
It took a fumble on the 1 yard line and a Mac Jones comeback.
Could call it whatever. Got the dub. So, things are going to start falling into place once we have our bye week and everything is kind of in line. We lost games we shouldn't have lost, like the Texans lost, probably shouldn't have lost that game. The Jags lost, probably shouldn't have lost that game. The only game we probably should have lost was that Bucks game. But like I said, injuries have been a huge role in this team. There are a lot of other teams in the NFL that have injuries to key positions and aren't able to overcome those injuries. That is the reason why I feel like Kyle Shanahan is the coach of the year, just based off of what he's been able to do with less. So, go Niners.
With less, you're still playing junior college football. Dan Campbell took a team with no defensive starters to the NFC Championship, and he didn't win coach of the year. So, the excuse of I'm winning with second-string players in the NFL, it's not enough. It's not enough, bucko. I'm just saying, there's a guy like Shane Steichen who took the Colts from hell to heaven. All right? Let's give credit where credit is due. I get it, you're a Niner fan, but let's not just throw awards out there to y'all because we get to play our mini violin. Boo-hoo. Feel bad for us. We have the easiest schedule. We have the easiest schedule in football. Please feel bad for us. Moving on. Toddy's team 4 weeks ago, he had this team ranked the number 1 team in the NFL.
Oh, my God. He was
the Green Bay Packers lost to the Carolina Panthers. Ladies and gentlemen, the Green Bay Packers, the best team in the NFL, loses to the Carolina Panthers. Rico Dowdle, walking your trap, take over your trap. They had on Dookie helmets, and they played like Dookie. Jordan Love, man, throwing interceptions, and they're just like, you know what? We're gonna beat you so bad, we're gonna drop them. 100-yard pick six that could have happened. So you know what? Forget it. We have Bryce Young. Come on, Bryce. And this Green Bay Packers team, like I said with the Lions, flukes. You know, Tucker Kraft goes down, they don't know what the fuck to do. Christian Watson has a good catch. Romeo Dobbs is cool. Matthew Golden goes down. I don't know what this team's going to look like on Monday Night Football. When you play the Philadelphia Eagles and we come to your crib.
Oh, you guys play the Packers?
Yeah, and they're the favorites. So we're underdogs on the road. So you know what's the Packers. It's because of their home team, brother. Let's chill out. But anyways, you know, I'm happy. You said what?
I said Eagles money line.
Eagles money line, duh. You know the way we're looking. The Packers O-line is banged up. The Panthers were able to look like a Super Bowl winning team against the Packers. So I'm gonna say my Packers hate for the top 5 rankings, but not looking very good. Not looking very good. Toddy, I'm gonna swing it to you. We had a massacre. Jaden Daniels goes down.
Oh no!
The Seahawks beat the Commanders 38-14.
They beat the shit out of Commanders on Sunday Night Football.
28-0 at halftime. Drew Lock taking snaps.
We need to start having real conversations about Jackson Smith and Jigba and where he is. Where are we gonna? He has like 940 something yards, and it's we're going into week like 9. He almost has 1,000 yards. We're not even halfway through the season. Like, we got to start talking about him as like one of the top receivers in the NFL. Now, I was talking to he's in our league, Kyle. He is a Seahawks fan, and I was just talking to him like, I was like, yeah, man, like Jay is saying, like he's gonna be the guy. Like I saw him in college, but I didn't think he would. Like I knew Justin, he would end up being good because I remember his coming out party in the Rose Bowl, like what was it, 4 years ago,
4 years
3 years
ago.
ago. I gambled on that game. So I mean, I was familiar with him in college, but him going in the league, and I was like, he's got to adjust. He's got DK, he's got Tyler Lockett. There's just a bunch of guys out there that you're kind of like they're taking food off of his plate, and I was like, him getting more targets, his numbers should naturally go up. But this, I was not expecting this. This is like these are like top 5 numbers. The numbers that he's putting up right now is just I really don't. You can't argue it because it's in your face. He's doing it every week. He has multiple 100-yard games already, and I'm just like, all right, like this is something a top 5 wide receiver would do. So as far as him, Torrey Horton, that guy can play some football. He's a little spotty. Now I get he is a rookie, obviously, so you're gonna get choppy performances from him. But I know as a bunch of fantasy owners, and Kevin and I were talking about before the season or before the podcast started. He's on someone's roster, then he's on the waiver wire. He's on someone's roster, and he's on the waiver wire, and he has 3 touchdowns and 2 touchdowns. It's like, why can't you do it when you're on someone's team? That all comes and goes with being an NFL wide receiver early on. So Sam Darnold is good. I guess
Question
some of
mark?
that. I mean, the Minnesota Magic transferred to Seattle, I guess. So I mean, Seattle's defense is really good. McDonald is kind of a defensive wizard. Came from that Harbaugh kind of coaching tree when he was at Michigan. When I think he was in Baltimore a little bit with John Harbaugh. He was with Jim in Michigan, and now he got his own team in Seattle. So that defense is just they're very physical, and they make your quarterback uncomfortable. And their corners can hit, they can cover. Their D line is like they're checking a lot of boxes on defensive in the ball. And when they have Sam Darnold making plays, not turning the ball over,
You're scary.
they're a good team. Good team. Niners beat them, but I mean they're a good team. They're out there. They're making things happen.
And you talk about me always pushing my team, but hey, neither here nor there. Last game of the recap, the Cowgirls get their ass handed to them on Monday Night Football, 27-17.
We gotta have a conversation about Kyler Murray. Because they benched him today. Is Kyler Murray done in Arizona?
I was telling people this was Kyler Murray's prove it year. Marvin Harrison struggled. Jacoby Brissett gets Marvin Harrison. Looks like that guy he's supposed to be. They have the weapons. Trey McBride, Marvin Harrison. You give a quarterback that, you should be okay. Kyler Murray's in trouble because don't let Jacoby Brisket win them some couple of games. They have the rest of the way the Seahawks, the Cardinals, the Jags, the Bucks, the Rams, Texans, Falcons, Cardinals, and Rams.
You said Cardinals again. You said Cardinals like twice.
I said they play the Cardinals twice? I said the Cardinals play the Cardinals twice?
Yeah.
Jeez, that's awkward. Cardinals play the Seahawks. They play the Niners. They play the Jags, Bucks, Rams, Texans, Falcons, Bengals, Rams. If they win 7 games and finish 7-9, Kyler Murray is going to be on the trade block.
7-10. Do you think they cut him?
Hell no, not all that money. So there's a team out there that will say, why not us? Do I know where? No. But there will be a team out there that says they got him on a good deal.
I can fix you.
And you know where it's going to be? It's going to be in New York.
Oh, no. I'm just looking at it from – this is Kyler Murray's like 7th year, 8th year? He kind of is what he is. I think when you're in
we can't say that, Toddy.
You're right.
People shout shit on Geno. People shit on Sam Darnold. People shit on Baker Mayfield. And all it takes is a change of scenery. But when you have a guy that with all this hype.
He's went through a couple of coaches too.
He's went through a couple of coaches, and in the first half of his career, there was a year in there we said, God damn, is Kyler Murray going to be the MVP? It's hard when you're a tiny guy playing quarterback. It's just point blank. It's hard to do it. We've seen guys like the Drew Breeses, but one of one. Kyler Murray is in some trouble, and it's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out. But moving on,